I was reading your most recent publication and the case report and sort of reading through the patient's perspective, which I highly encourage. We'll put in the show notes. Everybody go read that paper because one of those endpoints that I think are really discounted is the comorbidity with mental health, disease, anxiety, depression, mood disorders associated with type 1. Imagine, you are juggling, I heard somewhere, and I'm not sure if this is completely accurate, but there are potentially, several hundred decisions a type 1 patient with type 1 diabetes makes in a day. And the mental burden is high, and the concurrent rates of depression and anxiety are through the roof. And your case report was so fascinating. Would you mind just, talking just a bit about that?
Yeah, it was a case of a person that was had extreme anxiety about their diabetes, such that they found it very difficult to take insulin well. They found it very difficult to adhere to any particular diet. And the main author, Irene Weiner, from Norway, she took this person over. Irene's a clinically trained psychologist, and she also has type 1 herself. And she was able to manage this lady and persuade her to adopt a ketogenic lifestyle and manage her insulin much more effectively. They subsequently converted her to a pump, which made a modest difference. But the main thing was that this lady's anxiety symptoms plummeted. And that there are lots of reasons for that. One of the big drivers for anxiety in type 1 diabetes is the feeling that you're not in control. And our clinicians, unfortunately, don't give us much hope because we know what our end's going to be. And if we find we can't control our diabetes very well, you think, oh my goodness, I'm going to end up very early on with complications. But you have no way of controlling it. Every person with type 1, we all laugh about it, but we say you do exactly the same thing 2 days in a row and get completely different results. And that's because of other bodily processes going on, which we don't fully understand. So to be out of
Inflammation, stress, sleep, I mean, just everyday living,
whatever, yeah. But you can do exactly the same thing twice, 2 days in a row and get different results. So being out of control, I think one of the most profound things for me when I found I could get control, it was a profound moment. It was such almost a relief to know that I could actually manage this condition. But before, you were chasing it, you were hoping for the best. You were taking your carbs, porridge every morning for breakfast, thinking, I'm going to do it properly today. I'm going to really count it. I'm going to inject my insulin properly. By lunchtime, it was all over. Monday morning you start again, and then next Monday you start again. And you think, I'm not doing this very well, and your HbA1c keeps going up, and then retinopathy screening is absolutely like any screening for health conditions, whatever, cervical screening, breast screening, it's quite an anxiety creating situation. Certainly in diabetes, because it's coming at some point. And once you get the control of your diabetes, it's the most releasing thing for your stress. And with this other poor lady that had in our case study, she was well beyond that stage. She had sort of severe mental health issues as a result of her feeling out of control. And it may be just the fact that she was in control, but what we talked about earlier, the effect on neurons of ketone bodies and how bipolar disease can be uh, highly modified in a positive way by a ketogenic diet, suggests that it was not just the fact that this lady got into control, but the fact that this lady was on a ketogenic diet. And she's by no means better, but she feels that she can see there's actually a light at the end of this horrible tunnel that she'll be going down for a long, long time.